Hey everybody, and welcome to another video for another day and a brand new game. We are going to be playing Pokemon Blue, like the original Gen 1 Pokemon Blue. But we are going to do something a little different. We are going to be doing what's called a Nuzlocke run. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Nuzlocke is, the rules are simple, and I'm going to be skipping all this. The rules are super simple. There's 3 primary rules. 1, you have to nickname every Pokemon. That's the hardest part for me, because I never do, but I'm going to be trying. The other 2 are way more important. Anytime you enter an area for the first time, you are only permitted to capture the first Pokemon you encounter. So if you, later on in the game, decide, oh, I want an Abra, and you run into a Bellsprout, guess what? You cannot catch an Abra, you can only catch that Bellsprout, no matter what. Additionally, if that Pokemon, you either don't capture it, it either runs away, or you accidentally kill it, that route is now dead. You cannot go, oh, well, I guess now I can only capture another Bellsprout. No, you can't. You can only capture that Pokemon, that one individual. So, yeah, if you screw up, too bad. The other big thing is, if a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead. You must go to a Pokemon Center and release it, and it can no longer be used. There are also another couple things that I will be imposing. I'm just gonna go with blue because I don't care that much about my character name. And I'll explain more as we go. Yes, his name is I guess I would just go with red. Everybody makes him like shit stain or butthead or poopy pants and all that crap. Pun intended. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go with red. The character names I don't care as much about. The Pokemon I will be nicknaming though. There are going to be a couple rules. One is a pretty common one, which is just the species clause. So if we catch a Rattata in Route 1, and then we run into a Rattata on Route 2, then we do not need to catch it. It's basically considered a mulligan, so that you don't wind up with 13 Rattatas. The other part of this, though, is that I don't want to try anything else. If your Rattata dies and you run into another Rattata, you cannot catch it. Anything that has been previously caught and is logged in your Pokedex, you cannot get again. So, if we have a Rattata and it dies, we cannot get another Rattata. If we find a Raticate, we can catch that. Additionally, I'm going to be using set rules instead of shift. Shift, anytime a Pokemon, you kill an enemy Pokemon, you are allowed to switch. It'll say what they're sending out, and you have the option to switch. With set, they will just send it out, and if you want to switch, the Pokemon that's coming in is going to take a hit, just to make it a little bit harder. What else? I feel like there's something else I'm thinking of, but I'll get to it later. There is one other thing. We are not allowed to choose our starter. Normally, you would go to your trainer ID, but we don't have a trainer ID until we actually pick a Pokemon. So the way it works is the final digit in your trainer ID is, 0 through 9. 1 through 3 is Bulbasaur, 4 through 6 is Charmander, 7 through 9 is Squirtle, and 0 is either you can choose or you move on to the next digit and, you go again. Since this one doesn't have anything like that, I am going to go to a site and roll a d10 die, and we got 8, so we are taking Squirtle. Which, honestly, I've never really used. I know it's the unpopular choice, but I always go Bulbasaur. I just like him. Do we want to give a nickname? Yes, we do. We are going to call you... we're going to call you Sput. We'll call you Sputtle. Sputtle. I think Sputtle's alright. All my names are going to be really shit, because I am not a nicknamey person. I do not nickname my Pokemon ever, so that's actually going to be the hardest part of this for me. And here's Bulbasaur. So now we have the trainer fight. If we faint here, then it's game over and we just start again. Oh, that's another rule. If at any point your party is wiped out, this is another rule I'm putting on myself. If we white out, which is when all of our Pokemon faint, the run is considered failed. Even if we have Pokemon in the box that we can still use, the run is considered completely over. And the only other thing I can think of is for gym battles, it gets a lot harder in the mid-game. God, we're not doing any damage. That growl kind of fucked us. I'm going to try and keep my level even with theirs. There we go. There's a crit. How much does he do? He does 3. Was he doing 4 before? You know what? I'm going to use the potion because that's what it's there for. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep even with the gym leader's levels. So, our first gym leader is Brock. His highest is 14. I'm going to try and not have anyone above 14. Being at 14 is fine, and if they level up during the fight, so be it. This gets harder for the 5th and 6th badges, just because you have to do so many different things, so I may be higher leveled then, but otherwise we'll be pretty consistent, I think. Yeah, you picked the wrong one. Actually, no, he didn't, because, well, I mean, flying and fire are going to be the big 2 things. Getting a fire type is actually going to be kind of rough. And then, is he healed? I forgot. Yes. Okay. And then flying, I guess. So, the other thing, our run doesn't technically start until we get Pokeballs. And since we don't have any Pokeballs yet, we're kind of just able to walk through. Even if we get into an encounter, it won't count against us. I'm also very glad that we actually got Squirtle, because it makes the first gym a little bit easier. Because it's a Pokemon Blue, a lot of moves are considered normal. There's a lot of moves that get a type change later. For example, Pidgey knows Gust as its first move. Gust in this game is considered normal. It's not a flying type. And it's not great. And because of that, there are other things like, you know, in, I think Pokemon Yellow and every gen after that has the routes where you go back, you can get a Mankey before you face Brock, and obviously Mankey's fighting type and is way strong against Brock. Mankey is not in Pokemon Blue in the route beforehand. I'm not even sure if he's in Pokemon Blue, period. I think that's a Red exclusive. I don't know. We can get a Nidoran, male or female, which can learn Double Kick. In later gens, they learn Double Kick at level 12. In Pokemon Blue, they learn it at level 46. So if we had gotten Charmander, our only hope would have been getting a Butterfree that knew Confusion. Because, once again, Metal Claw is not a move in this gen. It does not exist. So, Bulbasaur or Squirtle are pretty much the only two that you want. But Bulbasaur doesn't learn Vine Whip till level 14. So, that's kind of pushing it. Maybe 15, I don't remember. Luckily, Squirtle actually learns Bubble early on. So actually, we're gonna be okay. Yes, the story of Pokemon is fascinating. I'm mashing my A button as much as I can. Alright, and actually, we're gonna go to options, move that to fast, move that to set, before I forget. I forget, do we have Pokeballs now, or do we have to actually go buy them? Shit, we have to buy them. I thought you were given Pokeballs. No? Huh, that's unfortunate. We're gonna go over to Red's house, and he's a dick, but, you know, his sister's not. So now we have a Town Map. Mainly just because we can. There's no real benefit to it, honestly. So now we have to go all the way back to the mart, and then we can come back down here and get our first capture. Alright, I'm shocked that we haven't gotten a random encounter yet. That's actually kind of nutty. There's some art. We have, what, 3,000 gold? Gold. Fucking $3,000, I guess I'll call it. I want 7, just cause. And then, oh, we can't get potions? Fuck. We'll get 3 antidotes, though. Because we'll need those later. Antidotes are gonna be the worst. Or poison's gonna be the worst. Poison in this game also acts very differently, which is the other reason I'm kind of glad we didn't get Bulbasaur. In every gen after this, I could be wrong on the actual number, but I believe that poison does 1... I want to say it's 1/8? No. It's either 1/8 or 1/16 of your total health each turn. I don't remember the exact number. Poison in this game does... If it does 1/8 in every other game, it does 1/16 here. If it does 1/16 in every other game, it does 1/32 here. Poison in this game, with the exception of Toxic, is pretty garbage. It's really not good. And there's our first Pokemon. We have a Rattata. What are we gonna call you? We are going to call you... So I'm trying to think of something with Buck, like Buck Teeth. And there's Buck, there's Bucky, and in my head, I just thought Bucket. So, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna... Aw, I should call him Fuck It, but no. We're gonna call him... We're gonna call you Bucket. And that's our first Pokemon. So our journey is well underway. We are going to continue. We're going to get some more Pokemon, and we're going to make our way to Brock for our first big gym battle. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.